All right, YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast talking Auburn football. Here for the live stream for the post Auburn Georgia game. They call this game the Deep South's oldest rivalry. I'm going to let a few of you guys come in. I know that the Auburn fan base is obviously disappointed. Want to congratulate the Georgia Bulldogs on a 21-14 win in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Definitely a memorable ball game. I think the two teams played very resiliently, very ecstatic about how Auburn played in that second half. I just as much as a fan and analyst and all this other stuff may go, I think it was a great second half by the Auburn Tigers. Really, kind of really put it on the line. And Lamorris Nails, yes, I see what you're saying. But at the same time, you got to give it up for those kids on the field today. This is not about Gus Malzahn. This is not about the Auburn Tigers. This is not about the name Auburn Tigers. You got to think about the human beings on the field, both from Georgia and Auburn, who laid it on the line and gave a huge measure of devotion for this particular team. And I don't know, it's just a really tough loss. I think, especially from a coaching standpoint, I think Gus Malzahn missed some opportunities early. Definitely when we look back, we're going to see that Bo Nix's turnover will be the deciding factor of this particular football game. Especially changing the trajectory. Had a good drive going. I really, man, just being a former athlete myself, I just hurt for these guys at Auburn tonight. I mean, I really think that these guys put it all on the line, gave Auburn an opportunity late, and just couldn't get it done. The ball to Joyner, obviously thrown behind him. But, I'm going to be fair with y'all, man. Y'all talking about fire Gus and Gus is in over his head and blah, blah, blah. I'm not here to defend Gus. It is up to the Auburn administration to decide whether Gus Malzahn stays or here. I'm not going to sunshine pump Gus on any level here. It's up to the, it's up to the administration to decide. Now, let me tell some of you guys who automatically say that Gus Malzahn should go. I'm on the low, kind of sort of beg to differ. Because one, you have a very, very solid recruiting class coming up next year. You also have a pretty manageable schedule, So, I mean, do you really want, who are you going to get at this point? Even if you get PJ Flack, even if you get Urban Meyer, hell, let's dig, let's put Pat Dye back out there. Hell, let's dig up, Tommy Tuberville, for example. But at this point, I get it. Auburn probably, this is another game that Auburn should have won. But I also think, too, that there were a lot of opportunities for Auburn throughout the season, but you got to give it up to these kids. And no, I'm not. No, I'm not, Mr. AU Fanatic. I'm not going to blame Gus. I'm not on here to blame the coaching staff, because there's more moving parts to a football game than just the coach. The players still have to execute. Okay. Overall, a great effort by Auburn, losing this game 21-14. You can blame whoever you want to, but it's just unfortunate. And at the same time, Dwayne Phillips, I'm gonna put this comment up here because this is really important. So Dwayne Phillips says, "Why are Auburn fans willing to just settle? It's unbelievable." Now, what a lot of you guys don't get is the fact that the fans do not dictate who the football coach is. Fans do not dictate this. All we can do is, as fans, is um, no, that's bullshit. The simply supply. Let's put you up there. We're gonna do this again. I like all of you too, but let's go ahead and get to the bottom of this. And it's not about being politically correct. It's about calling this shit for what it is. None of us as fans have any kind of authoritatorship to hire or fire a coach. So no, I'm not going to get on this channel and sit up here and do like some of the other YouTubers do and bash the coach. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look at the totality of circumstance. Auburn has this thing. You know what I'm saying? Auburn has this thing under their complete control. There's a guy right now, probably a guy, gal, hell, the damn creator of the Apple iPhone could doggone say, hey, look, I'm ready for Gus to go. Drop Auburn $42 million and get Gus's ass out of there. But I'm not in that position to do that, and neither are you. So that's why I'm not going to get on here and bash the coach, because the game trajectory goes a certain kind of way. Bo Nix fumble the football. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It was a tough loss. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But at the same time, instead of talking about Gus and talking about all that other stuff, give a shout out to these kids for once who put themselves on the line tonight to give Auburn an opportunity to win this particular football ball game. Ticket sales are not going to drop because you guys are too big of Auburn fans to not go to the games. Cut it out, Dwayne Phillips. I love you. I love all of my subscribers, but you need to cut that out. Ain't nobody going to stop going to Auburn games. Period. Until you get to a dumpster fire like Florida State and Arkansas and some of these other stuff, nah. Auburn ticket sales are going to continue to flow. Joe Rudolph, I think that was kind of shaky too. That whole, reviewing the block and blah, blah, blah. That wasn't a catch then. I mean, that catch, that play by Seth Williams is real close. Really, 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 really close. I think there was some, nah, man, DeMarcus Clayton, come on, man. Really? You got a good drive going and you fumble the ball, man. That screws things up in a tough game like this. I'm really disappointed in you guys tonight. I love y'all, but I'm disappointed in you guys tonight. I just really am. I mean, these guys, especially in the second half, did the unsurmountable, making it a football game, giving Auburn a chance to win this game. This is not about X's and O's. This is about, at what point are we just going to support the guys? The guys out there that are putting it on the line week in and week out. Come on, man. Give it up for them. Support them for once. Just this week. Support them. We know you hate Gus. I know you do. We know you do. DeMarcus Clayton, yes, the offense has, they've been kind of bad. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. It was a great football game. It was a very competitive football game. Yes, I think Auburn should have won. But at a certain point, man, these guys put a lot of measure of devotion on the line against a very good Georgia football team. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. I can't, and see you guys, and I see you on social media. You all tire yourselves out talking about Gus should be fired and what should happen. None of you have any power as to what, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, Daryl? None of you all have the power to hire or fire anyone. You just online blowing smoke. Until Auburn decides, no, I'm not happy. DeMarcus Clayton, I'm not happy, but I also have sense. Let me put you up here. DeMarcus Clayton, appreciate the comment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not happy with none of this stuff. But at the same time, hold on. Damn, I can't put it up there. Uh-oh. Nope. Gatewood, nope. I don't believe that. Could have, but that's a big coulda, shoulda, woulda. Okay, so Demarcus Clayton says, "Are you happy with going 8-4, 8-5 every year?" Of course not. But I ain't got no money that I'm putting on the program to say, "Hey, I want this coach out of here." I don't have $32 million a year that says, "You know what? I want Gus gone." Right? And it's very unfortunate, though, obviously, and the administration is going to have to, really analyze this stuff to say, "Hey, look, we got a coach, Gus Malzahn. He recruits very well. He puts the team in good positions to win football games, but in game situations, he can't get it done." I think overall, Gus Malzahn, has probably, what I'm saying, maxed out his potential. Though besides Dabo, let me put that. I appreciate the super chat too. Hell yeah. Let me put that up there. But I mean, that's the thing y'all got to look at as fans. Um we just don't have any power like that, to say, "Hey man, I want Gus gone." Yeah, you want Gus gone, but who? First of all, from an administration level, the Auburn football program has to look at, especially athletic department, they have to look at the totality of the circumstance. As fans, we look at this thing from a very reactive standpoint and say, "You know what? Gus cost us the Georgia game. He's got to go." But what folks don't look at is the totality of the circumstance and say, "Hey, this Auburn program, they kept giving themselves a chance. Hey, things didn't get executed properly. And, you're 7-2. You'll beat Sanford next week. Got a chance against Alabama. You win your bowl game. You got 10 wins on the season. And that's kind of what your goal was anyway. Yeah, you want to win that. You want to win championships every year. But you got to look at the realism of this. And it's not about being mediocre or settling, but you got to roll with what you got. Gus Malzahn is far from perfect as a head coach. He's made some boneheaded decisions. I think, looking back at this game, this is a game that Auburn should have won. Just being real with you. But at the same time, I'm not going to get up on here and talk about, kind of bash Gus, bash Bo Nix, bash these players when I know these guys have really worked hard this year. In adverse positions, yeah, should have beat Georgia. I wish we would have beaten Georgia. I probably hate Georgia more than I hate Alabama. But at the same time, we got to move on. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I mean, it's just what it is, right? So, I mean, it's a lot of great things happening. Auburn actually has a very good recruiting class coming up, the number 8 recruiting class in the country. You can't tell me those recruits didn't see the resiliency of, you know, um, this Auburn football team. Down 21-0. I'm talking about no shot. These guys literally put Auburn in the position to make something happen, just weren't able to execute it. But at the same time, I don't necessarily all the way like Gus or all the way support Gus, kind of neutral on the whole Gus thing. But I am partial to competition. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they kept giving themselves an opportunity, to win this particular football game. Hats off to Georgia. They came in with a great game plan. They, put themselves in a position to win the game, put themselves in a position to get their asses kicked by LSU in the SEC championship game. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. So, um, oh yeah, Brian, I ever since I've been living in this state, Georgia, man, I rekindled my hate for Georgia, having to see y'all. I mean, it is what it is. Lose close games all season. Yeah, maybe so. All right, so let's go back up to some of the comments. I think and obviously I understand the disappointment, but you gotta, you know, you gotta take this thing for what it is, a tough loss. Well, you know what, Auburn, man, they never should have been down a lot. Right, so I mean, it is what it is. It happens. You should never tell your kids, hey, I'm gonna pick you up, and then wind up not picking them up. Disappointments happen all the time, right? So save it, Kennard. We need a new staff on offense. Horace, I give you all permission to go find you somebody. I don't have that power, man. I have no power to hire or fire anyone. All I can do is analyze the game. Second half, it was all right. First half, not so much. It is what it is. Hey, George, we going to Atlanta. Where are you going? As it turns out, Brian Allen, it turns out that Georgia clinches the SEC East for the third straight year. And looks like Georgia will go to the SEC championship and lose again. Hell yeah. Big shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's see what the CBS Sports, just got a notification from CBS Sports. Let's see what they are talking about. Disappointed in the loss, though. 21-14. Now, here's the thing. If you're a betting guy, the stakes are a little bit different. Okay, so 28-21. That means if you bet at Georgia and you bet it over, you lost. It is what it is. You know, Auburn fans, I get it. I really do get it. And I'm not about to sunshine pump Gus Malzahn here. I'm also not about to destroy these kids who fight week in, week out, day in and day out. You know, it's really tough, man. And I know that the players will look back on this, and especially, Marlon Davidson and Derek Brown, all the guys that came back that wanted to possibly win a championship, perhaps. But here's the thing. Derek Brown actually garnished himself a lot more money in the NFL because he performed on a dominant level even tonight, played a great football game. Marlon Davidson played another great football game. So they will be rewarded in the end. Maybe not with the hard wear of a SEC championship or whatever the case may be. But those guys came back and they put it on the line. And one thing you can say about Gus Malzahn, you may want to fire Gus Malzahn, but there has never been a year that Gus Malzahn's players have quit on him. They just can't say that. Derek Brown really did himself a favor by coming up and playing good football this year. And you go into this game against Alabama. You got Samford coming up this next week. You talk yourself into an 8-4. I mean, at 8. What are we now? We'll be 8-3 going into the Alabama game, and all intent says that Tua Tagovailoa will not play that football game. A brilliant football player for the University of Alabama. And it's very unfortunate, really, because Tua Tagovailoa has been one of the, really one of the mainstays here for one of the talking points over the past few years for college football. And it could be a possibility that, Tua Tagovailoa's career could be over. And, it's just going to be tough. Dwayne Phillips says 8-4. Right now, Auburn is 7-3. We'll be 8-3 once. I mean, I'm just gonna say, no way we lose to, no way we lose to Samford, and then you got Alabama at home without Tua Tagovailoa and James Coburn. I get it, but come on, man. But and that's another thing that we do sometimes with sports. We dehumanize sports. We forget that those are young men We forget that those are human beings under those helmets, that blood, sweat, and tears, and they take pictures after the game. You know, um, I just very, very bittersweet game tonight for Georgia. I mean, for Auburn and Georgia. I really um, just really love the resiliency of the players, because being a former athlete myself, I didn't get a chance to play in college, but at the same time, I can understand a loss like this where you had the opportunity, where you can, you lose a close game like this and you start to dissect, um, you know, you start to dissect everything that you could have done, to make this thing different. And I know Bo Nix is going to rewind the fumble early in the game. I know he's going to rewind the miss. I mean, he probably got really excited with the whole Harold Joyner thing. Should have threw it in front, threw it behind him. But that's just another coaching point that, Auburn will have to go on with Bo Nix. King Tizzle. It's funny how King Tizzle rolls around once we lose a game. King Tizzle said, whoever said 9-3 is hilarious. Let's put him up there. I like King Tizzle. He floats around Facebook a little bit. I mean, YouTube a little bit. Says a lot of good stuff, too. I think King Tizzle on the Slick used to play for Auburn. I don't know for sure. But he said, whoever said 9-3 is hilarious. We will never win with Gus. Gus need to go, and Nix should go also. In my opinion, let's make Auburn great again. Who said that Auburn isn't great now? Auburn's got a lot of great things going on in the athletic department. Winning football team. Basketball team right now 3-0 and ranked in the top 22. Now, I know a lot of you all are glass half empty kind of folks, but I'm just not one of those kind of guys. Just not. We being honest. Okay, cool. What the hell? Joe Rudolph, let's elaborate on your what the hell the statement. I take all comments. I said it. The worst decade is unfortunate. No, really. It's just, Tua Tagovailoa will not, probably will never play football again. That's a possibility. That right now is on the table. Can't nobody roll trees like Auburn athletes. Believe it or not, I'm going to quit watching football. Some of you all actually need to stop watching football. Not you, George. I don't think you should, but okay, I was there. Okay, that's cool. I thought you played ball there, man. Hell yeah. Big shout out to King Tizzle, former Auburn football player. Maybe he will reveal his. I just can't think of his name right now, so that's why I don't want to just throw it out there. I'm done watching college football. I mean, hey, I'm gonna keep watching it, and I'm gonna keep on, analyzing the game, because, life. I mean, football, sports is just really a duplication of life on the football field. Sean Smith is my name. Thank you, sir, man. I appreciate your comment. I've actually seen you on other YouTubers' channels, and you talk a lot of great things, man. I really appreciate your contribution. I hadn't seen you on my channel in a little while, but really appreciate the things you bring once you show up. And being a Tiger, I like David Porter. He beats me up about the videos in the car. You know what I'm saying? I think we just have to wait this thing out and see what the Auburn administration decides with Gus Malzahn. I don't think they're going to fire him. I don't see why they would, especially considering how other coaches are completely tanking, and you got a firing at this point. Auburn with a much more favorable schedule next year. Auburn could very well be in the race late in the season, having LSU and Alabama in November. But man, I'm not going to stop watching this. I hope you guys don't quit watching it. The season is definitely not over. West and all that stuff, national champ. Yeah, that part of it is over. But continue to enjoy the Derrick Browns because you're not going to get him back. Continue to enjoy Marlon Davidson because you're not going to get this defense back, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely love all of you guys for supporting, guys and gals, for supporting Vernon Speak Sports Auburn. A tough loss tonight. We got a lot of stuff we got to talk about next week. Going into the November the 18th is the early signing period. So we got to move on. You know what I'm saying? You like it. Post says you got to ride for the brand, win or lose. I'm gonna get on mostly every day. Tough loss for these guys though. I recover and do what those guys had to do. Um, it's just man, I hurt for these guys. You know, I really hurt for these guys, and I want to tell you guys. Sometimes I beat you guys up a little bit about some of the comments you make, but now I've been able to really, since I've been doing this YouTube thing, I've been able to really balance the emotion of being a fan again. Because doing this, I what I'm saying, I've kind of gotten a little bit more neutral. Yes, sir, Brian Allen. I appreciate you, Nuke. Congratulations on Georgia's win tonight. And since I've been doing this particular podcast, I've kind of neutralized myself as a fan, so to speak, and I don't get all worked up as a fan. And sometimes, what's going on, Lisa? How you doing? Um, hey, I appreciate you, Noop. Appreciate it, Captain Chaos. Appreciate you, Noop. Brian Allen for joining me tonight. In doing this channel, I've kind of gotten away from being a fan, so to speak, and more of an analyst. But at the same time, now I got to reconsider how you guys feel as fans, and that this stuff hurts, and that this stuff, you really want your team to win. You want to be able to talk trash on Facebook. You want to be able to talk, trash on social media, and the defense. For example, yeah, man, this is a championship defense, and it's just unfortunate. But at the same time, maybe, just maybe, with the continuing with the recruiting, that Auburn will be able to reload on this defense because they got some great guys coming back. So I love you guys, man. I really haven't. I'm going to continue to do this. This is the beginning, baby, because we got basketball, we got recruiting coming up, and we got DJ Williams, we got Tank Bigsby coming up next year, and these guys, it is what it is, man. Um, a tough loss for these guys. I think Gus Malzahn may want to reevaluate, just like Johnny Sports Talk says. I think, oh yeah, definitely a wasted year as far as that goes. Roderick Montgomery, this is a championship defense. You put Auburn plays against anyone in the country, and they will be in the game every single week. But like I said, I just keep it coming. I know you guys. It sucks. It really sucks for the way Auburn lost this game. But like I said before, I really appreciate you fans, and I appreciate really being a platform to give the Auburn fans a chance to voice their opinions and express their love for Auburn. Y'all talking all that crap now. Next week is gonna be War Eagle. Let's beat Samford. It's gonna be War Eagle. Let's beat Alabama. Then it's gonna be War Eagle again when we're in the, I don't know, whatever bowl we're in. War Eagle again. All right, guys. I really enjoyed that game tonight. Hated the loss. Really appreciate the support from all of the Auburn fans and some of the Georgia fans that chimed in tonight. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. As always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.